Hey guys, so I've had several people wonder about how I do my color changes when I alternate rows in my blankets. So I thought I'd do just a quick little tutorial on how I do that. This isn't going to be like a super professional video, just a quick little glimpse at how this works. I have my first row done here, except for joining. I'm about to join and slip stitch to that first stitch, which in this case is a half double crochet. So I've slip stitched close, that's my last corner here, and I'm going to slip stitch across the top of this row till I reach the corner. I don't go in this last one. You can. It really doesn't make a whole lot of a difference. I'm just going to go straight in here. Now, this is where I switch color to the other alternating yarn. For me, right now, just for this sample, I'm using one cake. This is just an old Thunderbird cake, Mandala Thunderbird. And I'm using this as one color and then this as another color. And you can do this if you decide to only use one mandala color. You can use both ends of the cake. And if you hear screaming, that is my toddlers and their dad. And it's been rough over here. So you might hear that. So here we go with the second color. We're going to join, and what I do is I just give myself a long tail and just loop it over my hook, and then I'm going to pull it through that last slip stitch that I was making, and then I just kind of tug everything tight back here. So I personally, when I switch colors for the first time, I like to tie a knot. I do a double knot. This is just a personal preference. Again, you don't have to. You can do any of the color changes how you like. I'm just showing you how I personally do it. So this is now ready with my new color. And I'm not doing any particular pattern. I'm just showing you guys a technique. So I'm going to chain 2 and I'm going to let's just do 2 half double crochets for the corner, chain 2, 2 more half double crochets, and I am not working over the other color. I am just leaving it hanging. So let's just work across real quick. 1, 2, do this corner. It's just going to take me a minute. I'm just going to work around this row. If you do decide to use both ends of one of the mandala cakes, it works great. You just have to make sure you pay attention and give yourself a little slack on the yarn so it doesn't get tangled. But it's very doable, and it's a super awesome way to use 2 different parts of the yarn without having to have 2 cakes floating around. So like half done with this row here. Kind of necessary to be able to show you guys this technique. I'm sorry, but again, see, instead of getting it tangled, I just rotate the ball, well, the cake, so it doesn't get tangled. Let's finish up this row. This part isn't important. I'm just working around the row. Last corner. Again, I am not working over that yellow yarn. I just left it hanging there. Last corner. Okay, so of course with your slip stitches, it can be a little fiddly. Just remember you're putting, in this case, 2 stitches on this row. So now I'm ready to, normally I would just slip stitch and continue, but to change the color, I'm going to slip stitch into that first corner half double crochet, and I'm going to slip stitch in the next one, and this is where I'll switch to the other color so I can alternate. So I'm going to go into that corner space, and I'm just going to pick up, make sure it's not your tail, I'm just going to pick up that yellow yarn and just pull it through. And start working. You just leave the brown. Just leave it there. It's not going to go anywhere. It's locked into this stitch right here. So this is what it looks like in the back. Of course, you know, your tails will be gone. So ignore these right here. But this is what the little jog looks like. You know, it does show up as a little jog, but it has not bothered many people. Most people that have done my patterns never complain about it at all. I think I've had a couple that prefer to not have the yarn carried up because it does make a line on the back. But I personally haven't had any issue. Most people that do it the way that I do it don't have an issue. It's just kind of preference and up to you, you know, what you like and what you prefer. If you don't like that little jog, that's fine. Absolutely not a problem. You can change yarn colors or keep it without changing, whatever way you prefer. You know, there isn't a written rule on it. You just kind of can do how you want. Just remember, if you decide, sorry, I'm just working one more row here to show you just one more time. If you decide that you don't want to carry the yarn like I'm showing you, that's fine, but take into account that if you decide to cut your yarn and add it every row, it will be using more yarn. So if you have the 4 cakes to make your blanket, you may actually run a little short. So just keep that in mind if you decide that you would rather cut your yarn and tie it and weave in all your ends, which is fine. It's totally acceptable. But you may need a little extra yarn. So just remember that. Okay, so I'll show you one more time. I'm back to the corner. I'm going to slip stitch to that first half double crochet. Slip stitch in the next one. Now you're back at your corner. You're going to insert, and you have that yarn hanging in the back from the last row. See? It's not going to go anywhere. It's all locked in. So I'm just going to grab that, pull it through, and I just leave the yellow hanging. See, it's tied in right here. You can see that stitch moving. So it's not going to go anywhere. You don't have to worry about it untangling something or unraveling. It's not going to go anywhere. So that's how I do it. You don't have to do that way. You can do it any way you like. I just wanted to kind of show you a little tutorial on how I do it. So that's it. That's what it looks like. Of course, you'll weave your ends in. But anyway, I hope this helps. If you have any more questions, comment below, or you can find me in my Facebook group, which is just LG Fiberworks. And yeah, thanks guys.